WWE takes huge steps to build WrestleMania with a shocking return and announcing 2 matches. Find out who and what they are tonight. Also, we have a very special interview with one half former WWE Tag Team Champions of the World, Billy Gunn, who has a lot to say about today's professional wrestling. We've also got hot news, TNA, ROH, and DWHS, as well as details on the 3 WWE Hall of Famers joining us for the next few weeks right here on PrimeTime. So sit back, relax, and get ready for the longest running talk show about wrestling right here, right now on My 24 Milwaukee and Fight TV.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime TV, the longest running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime here on My 24 Milwaukee and Fight TV, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Octavius Tiberius, the alleged backyard one-time straight-edge hardcore goat face knockouts Hall of Famer Hero.
Yes.
How are you, David? It's good to see you, buddy, old pal, here on today.
You don't need to touch. We're cool.
If you're not careful. I still have security
Mr.
and
Casa?
protection here. No, not Mr. Casa.
Mr. Casa, he was stuck on a toilet somewhere.
Well, that's why I replaced him with Xavier Mustafa, who we saw on Feedback Friday yesterday. Yeah. Is your memory that short that you just can't?
It's great, but it is short.
I've heard people say that about you. Once or twice.
Yeah, that I'm great? Absolutely.
Well, this week's big story, folks, is brought to you by the Shenanigans VIP Party, which is coming to Dallas to kick off WrestleMania weekend. Kevin Nash is the host, and it's a can't miss one-of-a-kind event. So get all the details right now at PWRshow.com. This week on WWE Raw, we saw the shocking return of Shane McMahon to WWE after a 6-year absence. It's also announced that Shane will be in a match, one of the marquee matches at WrestleMania. His opponent, The Undertaker. The stipulation, Hell in a Cell. Now, I, for one, enjoyed this moment immensely as a fan, as I didn't see it coming at all. And as I discussed on PWR Reaction at PWRshow.com on Monday night, I had no idea who would face The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and I was concerned about whether or not anybody noteworthy would face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And then this match came out of nowhere. It was also revealed on Monday night that if Shane wins the match, if he beats The Undertaker in Dallas at WrestleMania in Hell in a Cell, he gets control of WWE Raw. Now, David, the stakes are incredibly high in this matchup, and WrestleMania took off at light speed this past Monday night on Raw.
I mean, who would have... When I'm watching Monday Night Raw and all of a sudden they have the Vincent McMahon legacy, I'm thinking, God, I go, how can they use Vince Sr.'s name as a prop?
Yeah.
And it was a way to bring back Shane O'Mac. And let me tell you, when that music hit, I legit got goosebumps.
Here comes the money!
It looked great. The crowd went nuts. Like, the crowd has been waiting for that moment to just react in that way. And they got it.
Here's what I'll say. Shane is one of the few people this past Monday night in wrestling who have gotten the double pop. So think of Cena when he returned at the Royal Rumble in 2008. Brock Lesnar when he came back in 2012. Music hits, tremendous pop. They actually come out, the double pop. Yes. And it was amazing. I think, and I said this on Twitter, at Damian Nelson on Twitter, I think that a lot of fans, including myself to a degree, are looking at Shane McMahon as a savior for WWE.
You know, we are on My 24 here in Milwaukee, which is the sister station of Super 18, and you watch Arrow. You know, Vinnie Mac is saying to his father, you have failed this city, and he wants to make the WWE great again.
You will be...
That sounds so familiar.
Don't ever. I will plead, I don't bring that up. That man who is a problem and will start World War III if we don't get smarter as a country.
Wow, you got kind of heated there.
Give us the backstory, David Hero. I need a drink of water. Give us the backstory, Shane and Vince.
Here's the thing. Shane and Vince had a conversation about 6.5 years ago when Linda went off to go to be in the Senate.
She went, yep.
And she had to leave her post in the company.
Mm-hmm. She was CEO.
Shane O'Mac goes to his dad and says, hey, mom's gone. I want that spot.
Shane was in charge of digital media, I think, at the time.
Let me do this. I'm ready. And Vince said, no, you're not ready. It's going to be your daughter or your sister's spot. Hunter and Stephanie took the spot in the company that Shane McMahon wanted. And Shane, of course, hurt feelings. It got heated between the two of them. And Shane left the WWE.
2010.
And it's not that he just took his ball with him. He went on to be extremely successful. He has made a boatload of money on his own. Like he said, he was no longer under his father's thumb. He became a man of his own wealth, of his own work. And now he's back to try to make the WWE great again.
And we're going to talk more about this in PWR PrimeTime Extra, the extended version of PrimeTime, which continues after this broadcast at PWRshow.com. And no matter how you look at it, folks, this was an interesting development on Monday night, and now we all get to enjoy the ride to WrestleMania.
Who is the surprising opponent for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and why was he chosen? What does Billy Gunn have to say to aspiring wrestlers? What new star has signed on with WWE? Get the answers to all this and more coming up on Primetime.
At Gruber Law Offices, we understand that when you've been injured, life is tough. That's why we offer so many services for free. First call, free. First consultation, free. Stuck at home or in the hospital? We'll come to you for free. We'll deal with the insurance company for you and get you the help you need. Call Gruber Law Offices now. We don't get paid until you do, and your first consultation is always free.
Welcome back, fans, to the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time here on My 24 Milwaukee and Fight TV. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero, and another WrestleMania match was made official on Monday night when Brock Lesnar accepted the challenge of Dean Ambrose. I'll repeat that. Brock Lesnar accepted the challenge of Dean Ambrose to face him in Dallas at WrestleMania. Earlier in the day, though, Ambrose was attacked by Lesnar and sent to the hospital, only to return later in the ambulance to take more of a beating from the Beast. Now, not only will this match be happening at WrestleMania, but David, this is a no-holds-barred match. Ambrose Lesnar, WrestleMania 32.
I don't think I've seen as much of a one-sided match since, well, you can't even say Punk and Lesnar, because at least, you know, it's interesting because
we talked about this a bit on Feedback Friday yesterday at PWRshow.com.
It has to be a no-holds-barred match, first of all, because in a one-on-one match, nobody can beat Brock Lesnar.
Nobody
has. Who has
Triple H didn't he?
It was a gimmick match.
It was.
Every match Lesnar has lost has been a gimmick match. He has yet to lose in a traditional wrestling match.
And by doing that, they're doing what?
Well, they're giving hope that Dean Ambrose has an opportunity through the use of weapons and cheating that he might be able to stun Brock Lesnar enough to try and beat him. But all it does is make for just a match with tremendous spots and crushing blows where, it makes it easier. This way Dean Ambrose isn't suplexed all over the ring.
Well, relatively speaking, we've got Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
And then we've got Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
The Beast.
Yes.
Versus the Insane Asylum. What do they call him? The
Ambrose Asylum.
Frenetic Asylum.
The Fringe.
Lunatic Fringe. That's what it is. So you have to somehow or other bridge that gap between the size discrepancy between the two. Because it does matter in this case.
That's usually how they do it. Like whenever there's a match where it could be uncomfortable, it's a street fight. Just like with Triple H or with Shane and Taker. They can hide a lot of stuff in a Hell in a Cell match.
That they can. What'd you think of overall Raw this past Monday night, David Hero? Shane returns, Roman Reigns taken out by Triple H.
I mean, from start to finish, you started off hot with Shane, and you ended hot with Triple H and Roman Reigns. Now, of course, there's been people complaining online if you saw Brian Saxton passing a gimmick.
And we're going to talk about that in PWR Primetime Extra as well. Triple H and Roman Reigns.
If I had a run sheet, I would know this.
Well, you do. You just get your pages configured properly so you can follow along, right? We're on page 1. You're on.
Oh, now
Ladies and gentlemen, check out PWR Reaction live every Monday night at 10 o'clock p.m. taking your calls at PWRshow.com.
Now it makes sense.
Can't watch the show live? Well, subscribe to the PWR Now Network for free at PWRshow.com to get the episodes on demand. TNA Impact Wrestling presented Lockdown this past Tuesday on Pop TV, and we saw Matt Hardy retain the World Championship with the help of the endorsed Rockstar Spud, who turned on EC3, causing the subsequent loss. David, what'd you think of this presentation, Lockdown Championship, the third matchup between these two at Lockdown this past Tuesday?
You know, the real story was Rockstar Spud.
He shined. He's
You know
endorsed.
what? But if you think about it, how can we blame Rockstar Spud for turning on EC3? The guy that turned on him in the beginning, the guy that shaved his head.
And they had a match
made
last
him
week.
bald.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Spud is his own star. EC3, I think, is a great star as well, but Rockstar Spud
You got a
clearly.
thing for Spud, don't you? It's like he's your guy.
Well, a villain is born. Have you seen the graphic? This is a villain is born on TNA Wrestling, ImpactWrestling.com.
Okay, I get
yes, he's endorsed. I have a thing for Spud. I have a thing for Bully Ray. I have a thing for Roman Reigns.
For quite a while. You have
Absolutely.
Yes.
So,
He's going to be in Dallas with us.
at Shenanigans?
At Shenanigans.
Whose is that?
Well, Linda was here earlier. What was she doing on the table?
Unfortunately, though, TNA scored its lowest viewership to date on Pop TV, with 210,000 viewers tuning in for the first round of the show, joining 87,000 who tuned in for the replay. Overall viewership was down 18% week to week. Now, I don't understand that. Now, I think it was a lot of election night, but TNA, 1 million on Spike, Deviation to Destination America, now on Pop TV. They could only garner about 300,000 people to watch the program. A big program for them.
Here's the problem with TNA Impact Wrestling. You have gone through 3 channels in 2 years.
Right.
How do you expect the audience to follow you to find you?
It's a great question, folks, and that's this week's TNA Report.
Which well-regarded international star has signed on with WWE? What else does Dave have to say about Shane McMahon taking on The Undertaker at WrestleMania? The answers to this and more when we come back on Primetime. But first, we present a special interview with Billy Gunn right after the break. And pay close attention during the break because the PWR March to Mania is coming to Primetime, and so are 3 WWE Hall of Famers.
PWR is on the road to WrestleMania, and we're bringing total coverage of the event. It all starts with PWR March to Mania, as we welcome a WWE Hall of Famer to Primetime TV every week. Road Warrior Animal joins us March 5th, followed by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on March 12th. And then, the most famous voice in wrestling, Jim Ross, joins us March 19th and 26th. Watch PWR Primetime every Saturday at 10 p.m. on television, PWRshow.com, and Fight TV for the March to Mania, leading up to our special edition of Primetime from Dallas on April 2nd. Get more details now at PWRshow.com. PWR, the best gets better.
Welcome back, fans, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime here
back.
on
Where'd
my...
they go?
Oh, hey, how
Where'd
are
they
you?
go?
Billy
Welcome
Gunn,
back.
how are you? Yeah, they were on
Good.
commercial. They had to go pay some bills.
Why do you poor people always do that when you go, oh, hey, and I've been sitting next to you for the past 20 minutes?
It's
Maybe
actually
not
it's
20
been
minutes.
10.
10 minutes.
Well,
And
Bill-
then you guys are surprised when there's somebody sitting next to you. So let's
It's the
get
art
on
of
with this,
television.
Damien.
It's the art of
It's
television.
not the
Billy
art
Gunn,
of television. It's the art of me asking questions, smart questions, because I know you reporters don't ask cool questions. Go ahead, Damien. What is it?
it's good to see you, Billy Gunn.
It's good to see you. Am I uncomfortably close to you right now?
No, not at all. I encourage
Do I
this.
have soup breath?
Actually, yes. But Billy, it is WrestleMania season, and you have been
It is
a part of
WrestleMania
many a WrestleMania, including last year's WrestleMania. What is it like? AT&T Stadium, 100,000 people anticipated to be there. What is it like performing on such a grand stage at WrestleMania?
I don't know if I could even explain it. I don't know if there's words that explain actually how it feels to perform in front of that many people.
Yeah.
I mean, last year was crazy good. I mean, we came out during Hunter and Sting's match, and then NWO came out. It was like a feel good moment for everybody to kind of to recapture what I feel might be lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, in today's wrestling, but to bring a little bit of that back every now and then isn't bad. I'm not saying that you have to do it all the time, but it's awesome, and it lets people understand that, oh, this was really cool at one time.
You know, I got to say, watching you walk down that ramp in San Jose at WrestleMania
Well,
31.
it was walking as much as it was flying.
Yeah, exactly. But you had this, you've always had an aura to you, but you could see the excitement in the way you were carrying yourself, just being a part of that huge show and a match that no one thought they'd ever see, Triple H versus Sting as well.
Exactly. I mean, and it's just the moment. There was 76,000 people in there, or whatever, and then of course the match itself, and it all circles around the moment. Yeah. I mean, you lose yourself in the moment, and you wanna start. It's not like I want to run that fast down there. I want to take it in and kind of strut so I can take, but it's just not how it works. It's just that was the moment, and that's what I did.
You know, a lot of new stars are looking for their WrestleMania moment. And you spend a lot of time with a lot of the younger talents and currently working with a lot of the younger talents all over the world. And at the time that you spent at the training center, the WWE Performance Center, what is it that you're seeing that people who are out there who may be considering a profession in professional wrestling should be working on to make themselves more viable? How are they going to get in the door?
It's just be unique, be different, bring something that we haven't seen before, or bring a sense of work ethic with you. That, hey, I understand maybe right now I don't have something that's different, but I can work at it, and I can show you that I can work, and bring a good work ethic. That's it. That's all we ask for, is just do your work. This is a job. I mean, we can have fun and we do it, but it is a job, and you have to put the work in to be really good at it.
Do you find that enough people are willing to put that work in, or do they think they've made it once they get to that developmental or get to a particular spot on the indie track?
I think, that's who you can tell who has it and who doesn't have it. That's that it factor, the person that wants to, hey, I've gotten this level, but how do I get to this level? Oh, I work harder? Okay, let me do that, right? They don't, that once they get there, they kind of go, well, let me drift right here a little while because I'm happy with being mid. Yeah. And if you're happy with being mid, you got to go. That's not good.
Speaking of being happy.
You're happy sitting next to me, we get it.
Well, I mean, that's obvious, but how happy were you, or how unhappy were you when you first became known as the Ass Man?
Oh, super happy.
Happier than Kramer when he was the Ass Man?
Well, he's not. It was different when he was. It was cool when I did it. It was not cool when he did it. Maybe go back and watch some stuff, and you'll understand how come it was very cool.
All right. Well, Billy, it's always great talking to you.
I see what you did there. You tried to throw a little shot at me.
I absolutely did
not.
I think
go
this
to the
question,
rockabilly part of my career if you want to start shooting shots.
I was going to ask you next, how did it feel to be managed by the Honky Tonk Man?
Oh, it was awesome. I love Honky
Tonk Man.
Yeah. Honky Tonk Man.
Billy Gunn, always great to see you. I mean that sincerely. You're looking great. You're doing great. Clearly feeling great, and can't wait to have you on this show again. As a matter of fact, you're going to be with us in Dallas for WrestleMania at the Shenanigans VIP party with your dear friend Kevin Nash.
With my dear friend Kevin Nash.
That's what I read on the internet.
No. He is my dear friend, and as long as I'm not around Dave, we're good. Like me and you.
See, we have a lot in common.
I tried to tell you that before, but you wanted to believe that I liked him more than you.
I was young and naive.
Because now this thing with this Super Friend shirt thing is killing me. It's too much. It's gone out of control.
Could you join me in I want to recreate Comiskey in '79. I want to get every Super Friend shirt that there is out there, put it in a pile, and burn it like they did to disco.
I'm with you.
Shenanigans VIP party, Friday night, April 1st at the Iron Cactus. It's a private event. Tickets are available right now, PWRshow.com, and get the chance to spend some time with Mr. Billy Gunn right here as part of WrestleMania weekend. There's no party that's bigger that whole weekend for WrestleMania. So we'll see you there, folks. Billy, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by PWRshow.com, where you can subscribe to the PWR Now Network and watch all of our shows on demand. Extreme Midget Wrestling returns to Turner Hall on Friday, March 4th for more exciting action. Get more information and tickets right now at papstheater.org. Ring of Honor Wrestling returns to Milwaukee's Turner Hall on Sunday, June 12th. This is a show you won't want to miss, especially after last night's explosive 14th anniversary on pay-per-view. Tickets are available now at papstheater.org. PWR is invading Dallas for WrestleMania. Kevin Nash will once again be hosting the Shenanigans VIP party, taking place in Dallas on Friday, April 1st from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Nash will be joined by Billy Gunn, Al Snow, ODB, and more at this exclusive party event. The party is only 5 minutes away from ROH and NXT, so it's the perfect after party. More details and tickets available now at PWRshow.com. Find out more about our other huge events, including WrestleCon, C2E2, and the Super Friends Fan Fest right now by going to PWRshow.com.
PWR is pleased to announce the details of our WrestleMania coverage.
Starting next week, folks, we are bringing you the March to Mania. Each week on Primetime Television. That's this show right here. We welcome a WWE Hall of Famer to join us to talk about the biggest show of the year. And it kicks off next week with the man who had one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history.
Doink?
Really? Not Doink, no. It actually kicks off next week with Road Warrior Animal, one half of the greatest tag teams in professional wrestling. Yes. And then from there we go into one of the men who had one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So Animal next week. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat the week after. And by the way, Doink will not be joining us, but by the way, Steamboat will share details about the match with Savage at WrestleMania 3 and the unknown backstage story of his match with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 25, including how it wasn't quite what he signed up for when he decided to do that match. Now, after that, folks, we will be joined via satellite by none other than Jim Ross for 2 full weeks. Good old JR will be talking to us via satellite. We'll be talking to us via satellite about the big matches at WrestleMania, Triple H versus Roman Reigns, Ambrose versus Lesnar, and Taker versus McMahon. This all comes as part of the March to Mania. PWR, the only people bringing you this kind of coverage of WrestleMania, and you won't get more informative and entertaining coverage of the event than you will with us here on Primetime. The March to Mania starts next week.
Which well-regarded international star has signed on with WWE? What else does Dave have to say about Shane McMahon taking on The Undertaker at WrestleMania? Get the answers to that and more when we come back for the final leg of Primetime TV.
Biggest party event of WrestleMania weekend. WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash presents Shenanigans Dallas. Join Nash and friends including Billy Gunn, Mean Gene Okerlund, Al Snow, ODB, and more for a VIP party event Friday, April 1st. Party with the biggest stars of wrestling in downtown Dallas to kick off WrestleMania weekend. Don't miss Shenanigans Dallas, hosted by Kevin Nash. Tickets are available now at PWRshow.com. That's PWRshow.com.
Welcome back, fans, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime here for February 27th, 2016. You know, this is going to be the first ever leap year Raw coming up Monday night.
The first forever ever?
Forever ever.
The first one. You know, leap year is our good, close, personal, longtime friend Mike Bond's birthday.
Is that right? He's going to be at Shenanigans in Dallas with us.
4 or 5 years old now.
Huh. Well, folks, hot news is brought to you by PWR Feedback Friday, where we discuss The Godfather being announced as the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame, and we also talk very candidly about WWE and a potential change in direction on Monday night programming. We also respond to your comments about our broadcast every Friday at 5 p.m. exclusively at PWRshow.com. WWE has announced the signing of Japanese wrestling star Shinsuke Nakamura.
God bless you.
Who was part of the Bullet Club with AJ Styles. Nakamura has been with New Japan Pro Wrestling since 2002 and will debut with NXT at TakeOver Dallas on the WWE Network. Interestingly enough, he was also scheduled to participate on Ring of Honor's show last night. A last-minute change had to be made due to that. On SmackDown Thursday, WWE announced the return of The Undertaker to WWE TV this Monday on Raw. Obviously, Undertaker will address the match made between he and Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 32.
What do you think about that?
Shane versus Taker?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we talked about it in the big story.
What do you think Taker's really going to say?
Well, he's got to accept, doesn't he?
You'd think so. He's a contracted employee.
But it's also his say at the end of the day as to how that match transpires. Let's go to last night, though, David Hero in Las Vegas. It was the Ring of Honor 14th anniversary pay-per-view extravaganza, and wow, what a show it was!
It was the stars of New Japan and the Ring of Honor guys.
Absolutely, and that obviously continues. They're still taping product for the upcoming shows, upcoming weeks in Vegas today, but be sure to check out our exclusive Pro Wrestling Report update featuring the latest news from Ring of Honor each week in Madison, Green Bay, and Minneapolis during the Ring of Honor wrestling broadcast over the weekend.
Welcome to David Hero Has Spoken.
Wait a minute, hold on. Before you do this, I need, because you've got, this is your segment.
This is my segment.
This is your segment, and I'd like
for this time.
Xavier, could you please come and take your post here? Because I don't want you, your segment, I don't want you to be starting or trying anything. You saw Xavier last night on Feedback Friday at PWR Show.
That, though.
Well, he doesn't wear the same clothes every day. I pay him well. Go right ahead. Thank you, sir. My security.
Welcome to DWHS, brought to you by the Super Friends Fan Fest, coming to Milwaukee May 7th and 8th. For more information, go to PWRshow.com for all the details. Shane McMahon returns to Monday Night Raw, and let me tell you something, the Prince has come back to get his throne, but unfortunately, he has to go to The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match, put together by his father if he plans on taking over the WWE Raw brand. But think about it, what better way for Shane McMahon to take back the company than to beat The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match? Now, before you get all upset about it, just think about it. Undertaker and Shane, who else is there for Taker to wrestle? If it's Undertaker, he can lose himself. He can beat himself in this match.
To wrestle Xavier.
Well, this is my segment. Shh, hush.
Did you see him put his hand up towards me?
See, here's how I would book it. What you do is Shane McMahon takes a beating by Undertaker the entire match. Taker knows Shane wants what's best for the company. Taker has done everything there is to do. And he eventually at one point lays down for Shane to get the victory. Vince McMahon comes into the cell all upset, browbeats Taker. Taker grabs him, tombstones Vince McMahon in the middle of the ring.
What?
In Dallas at AT&T Stadium in front of 100,000 people for a WrestleMania and Sports Center moment, which then ushers in the new era of Shane McMahon. And with that, David Hero has spoken.
Here comes the money.
Money, 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 money.
Thank you, Dave. That was actually decent. Thank you, Xavier. I appreciate you standing by during DWHS. Appreciate it. Well, folks, continue the conversation online with us by following us on Twitter, liking us on Facebook, and visiting PWRshow.com for updates all week long until we are with you again here next Saturday night on My24 Milwaukee and Fight TV. Don't forget to check out the free PWR Now network with new shows daily at PWRshow.com, including new editions of Real Talk with yours truly discussing the Republican nominee for president, Pro Wrestling Report, and stealing the yellow light.
You talking about Donald Trump?
Next week, WWE Hall of Famer Road Warrior Animal is our guest to kick off the March to Mania. But Primetime continues right now, David Hero, as we speak at PWRshow.com with Primetime Extra, where we go deeper into the conversations that we started tonight, including Triple H versus Shane McMahon, Triple H versus Roman Reigns, and more. That right now at PWRshow.com. Until then, for that one, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you right now at PWRshow.com.